All right, and I think we're on. Let me check my YouTube channel. Does anyone know if we're on or not? We are on.
Yeah,
Okay,
we're on.
we're on. Okay, I'm a bit shy now. Okay,
Mhm.
hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, as you can see, actually, we got one more to join us. Freo Tragic has just joined us as well. How do we get him in here? The studio's limited to 6. Hang on, there's something wrong. Okay, can we get him in here? At the stage. It's not working. Just everyone, just relax. Just chill. At him like this. Freo Tragic. Why can I only have 6 people in here?
I think that's the most you can have, mate.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay. Freo Tragic, don't go anywhere. All right, we got you. We can't add you in here. We're only locked to 6 people now. I'm sorry, mate, but don't go nowhere. We're gonna add you in here for, very soon. Or just follow the channel. Just come it down. Okay, now. All right, here we go. All right. Now we are here live. It's working. We've got questions. Questions will be answered soon. First, we're going to introduce these special young people here. Okay, now we have Freo Tragic that we can't see because the app won't allow us. So unfortunately, Freo Tragic is just watching us at the moment. He's going to come on soon. Okay, and we got right on my right on the screen, but it's actually on my left. But it's on my right. We've got the Super Coach horse. Okay, and this young man is flying. Is one of the best entertainers in the business. So welcome to our channel, Super Coach horse.
Stay, Godfather. Yeah, going well, mate. Thank you for that little bit of a pump up. But we are here for one common theme, aren't we? And it's to get Supercoach Pro to 1,000 subs. So if you haven't yet and you haven't subscribed to his channel, firstly, what are you doing? But second of all, get across, give him the thumbs up, click the subscribe, and let's get in there.
Okay, now next up, we're going to leave Super Coach Pro last, okay? So don't get jealous, young man, okay? Just hang in there for us. We're going to talk to you last, okay? And next up, we're going to go to our newest recruits. The second time ever he's been on a YouTube channel. We're going to talk about Super Couch Potato. Just come it down. Okay, there he is. That's what he looks like. No one knew, but he's a handsome young man. Newly married, by the way, but he's feeling a bit ill right now, so hopefully he recovers soon. Unfortunately, he's an Essendon supporter. He's got the Essendon top on. So there's 3 Tigers in this room. There's two Bombers in this room. So it's going to be a bit of a battle here.
Better get it all done tonight than tomorrow night, eh? Might get a bit hostile after tomorrow night.
It's going to get very hostile. And just below the Super Couch Potato, we have a young man who I rate very highly, and he's the most beautiful young man that talks on the channels, and we're talking about Steve from SDS Super Coach. So welcome to the channel, SDS Super Coach.
Pleasure to make my debut on the Godfather channel. So really do appreciate it, Abs, for having me on. Good to see everyone's beautiful faces here. And the main goal here is to get to Brad to 1K subs. We started from the bottom, met in 2022, so it'll be an honor to see him get to that goal. And it's a great feeling.
Thank you. And next up, we have everyone's favorite, this young man, Swizz. And we all know him as our friend. Actually, we've just lost Freo Tragic. He got upset at me. He just left. Okay, but we're going to bring him back later on. But welcome, Swizz, to the channel. And thank you for joining. It's your first time on my channel. And I've been on your channel about 1,000 times already. But it's good to have you on my channel for the first time.
I was thinking that, mate. It's the first time I've been on. You live on my channel, so it's good to repay the favor and come on and visit. And some good guys in here. Obviously, Steve and I go way back, and also Horse and I've got a good relationship these days. But as we said, yeah, it's good to have the Potato Man on here as well. As much as he's wearing Bomber stuff, it's good to see you up and about, mate. Hopefully not too up and about for tomorrow. And the Super Coach Pro, and it's all about you today, champ. So we hopefully will get that milestone for you.
Now, speaking of Super Coach Pro, before we give him an introduction, we're just going to I'm going to do something here. Okay, now presets, share screen, and let's go to the Super Coach Pro share. Okay, now how do we do this? Okay, back over
this
here.
Is a well-oiled machine, mate.
How come I can't do this? It hasn't come up. All right, what's going on over here? No, this one. Okay, as you can see, I'm a professional,
You
so
are
don't worry.
professional,
Okay,
mate. I
don't
love
panic.
this.
Okay, I know what I'm doing.
The rumor that's getting around is that you created Microsoft with Bill Gates. Is that true?
Yeah, it's actually not true, that rumor. So I can't do it. What can I do this? The Supercoach Pro share. I'm trying to share your screen. Okay, now why isn't it? Can someone tell me why it's not coming up? Okay, it's not coming up. I can't help it. Sorry. Maybe because we've got too many heads in here, too many big heads at the moment, so it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to put it back to normal again. Back over here. All right, it's not working. Anyway, welcome, Brad. We appreciate you coming on the show. We're all here for you. That the whole Supercoach community is behind you right now. You're ranked 43 in Supercoach. You're absolutely going nuts right now. You just can't calm it down. And we want to see you get to the top, and we're going to get you to that 1,000 tonight. So all you people, all you beautiful people out there that are watching this show right now, we want to get this young man to 1,000, because what it means is this: we create all these videos. We go on YouTube, create all these videos. We do it for nothing. It's all for free. The minute we hit 1,000 subscribers, we start making thousands, tens of thousands a week. Actually, no, we don't. We don't make that much, but we probably make $20 a week.
Maybe
But
you do.
The point is, at least we can get this young man, Supercoach Pro, to at least earn that $20 a week. That maybe it's even $5 sometimes, but at least he can earn that kind of money and buy himself a new house, because we want him to get this new house. So please subscribe to his channel, and welcome to the channel, Supercoach Pro.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for having me, everyone. Yeah, it would be nice just to get a $20 camera instead of filming in 480p compared to you guys. So that's the first thing I'll do with the 1K subs, is probably get a new camera so I'm not filming so laggy. But the ranking is going well. Team's flying, and I appreciate all you guys' support and the shout out for the ranking this year. I've never been this high before, so it's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of group chats that I listen to that's probably got me there as well, and just a lot of luck so far, but enjoying the season as we progress.
Yeah, when you get to the top 10 or top 20, it's not luck, it's skill, okay? When you get out of the top 1,000, it's because you're unlucky. That's what happens, okay? So this year, I've been very unlucky. That's what we're going to get. We're going to stick with that theme right now, okay? When things are going good, because it's from skill. When things are going bad, it's unlucky. That's how it works. Just calm it down. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to do some topic discussions, okay? Now, before we do the discussions, Supercoach Pro, I'm gonna reset to see how many subs we are on now. We're on 961. We need 39 more subs to Supercoach Pro. So I got the link in the video in my description. So please click on that link and let's subscribe to this young man, and let's get him to that 1,000. Now, the first question up for grabs is going to be this first topic, okay? And this is, we're going to talk about Max Gawn, okay? Now, Max Gawn is 750K. Now, Swiss loves this topic. He's been talking to me about this. Is 750K for a player? Is it really? Are we going to really? I actually seen Supercoach Pro talk about this as well. So 750K for a player. We've got rainy season coming now. Okay, now in the rain, these big ruckmen don't take these intercept marks. They drop them. Okay, and Max Gawn takes a lot of contested marks to get these points. Now, would you consider trading out a Max Gawn at 750K and bring in possibly two primos, two gun primos, because you can always get a mid-pricer out and replace them with two gun primos? Would you ever consider that? And now I'm going to start from my right all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to ask each panelist the same question. Okay, start first from the Supercoach horse. What would you do?
I'd hold him. Simple reason being that, and I know we've got differing opinions in Max Gawn and your primos, but if you've got Gawn and you've got Cherry and they're both over 700K, why blow that up? You've got your set and forget 1 and 2. You can look to upgrade elsewhere, and we've already got, is it 3 confirmed debutants this week in West, Hayes from Collingwood, and then Clark from Essendon. So we've got 3 that are already going to play. There's rookies on the horizon. There's a rookie draft coming up in a couple of weeks as well. So there will be downgrades eventually. To me, it's probably a little bit of panic. And I know other people are going to have other opinions in this, but if you've got Max Gawn and he's scoring you at minimum 120, 125 a week with a ceiling of 180, 190 when it is dry, there's a guaranteed VCC option each week.
Okay, well, that's a very good answer, young man. And you're actually right. We have these rookies coming up. We're going to discuss Clark in a minute as well, especially to the two Bomber supporters besides me. So we're going to talk about Clark in a minute as well. But let's ask the same question to Super Couch Potato now. And this man is full of wisdom, the Super Couch Potato. And let's find out what he thinks about Max Gawn. Should we trade him out at 750k?
Well, I started him, so it's been a very good pick, which is good. What's he sitting at? 744,000, break even of 180. If you take out that Richmond and West Coast game, which we knew he was going to dominate, and he did, he nearly got 200. What's he been averaging over 8 games? Like 116. So there's definitely, it's about that. Anyway, I had a quick look. So he's priced at a very, very high level, right? And if he continues averaging 120, he's definitely going to pull back. So I can see, but how much is he going to drop? If he drops 100,000, is it really worth it then to trade him back in? I'm going to hold him though, because I'm running out of trades and I've already got a lot of spuds I'm going to have stuck in my team. So, but I can see the merit in trading him though, particularly if who you bring in makes 100k. It's potentially 200 grand that you might make in that.
Yeah,
in that
well,
trade.
if you've done your research, we love men that do their research, and we've seen that the Super Catch Potato has said the 116 average without those 2 games. A 116 average, if you multiply by 5, and my maths is not that good, right? But I'd say it's roughly about 600k. If you go 120 average, it's 600k. So he's priced at 744. So that's something to consider. But as the horse was mentioning, one huge spike game, and then that price jumps up again. So it's sort of stuck in between that area there. What would you do, SDS? Steve, the young man here, Steve, the beautiful young man. Let's find out what Steve would do.
I saw Brad's tweet earlier in the week, and it gave me some thought. And considering the lack of, we're really slowing up on rookies. We're getting a few this week, which is great. But sometimes you have to get a bit creative. And at the end of the day, I think it's definitely something worth considering. Now, before the injury news of Horn, Francis, McRae, Callahan, we've probably got bigger fish to fry. So this is probably the worst possible week to be doing it now. But it's certainly, you got to get creative sometimes. And if you're struggling, if you're having a bit of a disappointing season in terms of team value wise, then that's a fine play to do if you need to do that to complete your side. If you need Gawn's money to complete your side, that's fine. I think Gawn's second half of seasons in previous years has been worse than his first half. So that's another thing to keep in mind. If there's every chance he could be available at 600k at some point. So if you are trading, there is a chance you might not be able to get him back. And they do have West Coast again this season. So probably just a movie night for you that day. But I think it's perfectly fine to do if you need the cash gen, and you got to do it now. But unfortunately, with a lot of the injury news, we've got bigger fish to fry.
Okay, well, that's a very nice answer, young man, and it's well thought out. Now, I would ask, I'm going to ask Swizz the same question, because I know Swizz actually been thinking about this for a while now, and so has Brad. So we're going to ask them both the same question, but let's go to Swizz now, because we're expecting a long answer. It might take 1 hour just to answer, so hopefully cut it a bit short, Swizz, or not too long. Just come at the answer.
I'll say
okay,
the easiest way about this is go to my channel and watch me talk about this for half an hour last night with Travi. I've copped a lot of criticism on socials for talking about this. Now, I did say, and for those people who've been attacking me, not now. This is something leading into Gawn's buy, I think. So I would be holding him for at least the next 3 or 4 weeks. When's his buy? Around 15, 16, one of the two there. So for me, not now. But if you hit that situation where his break even gets quite large, which it is obviously at the moment, but I think he still goes pretty well over the next couple of weeks. And you are, as everyone else has said, you are struggling to upgrade some of your rookies. Some of these rookies maybe we get from the preseason draft don't come on as well as what we're hoping. And you've got guys who are stuck in that 250, 300K range. There is a world, and not just for Gawn, but Gawn and Cherry could both potentially go down to a TDK, Nank, other ruckmen who are 500K, who can potentially average 110. We see Marshall those who picked up Marshall for 450 are sitting there saying, well, I've got him in flex. I can just boot Gawn out at 750K, put Marshall there, and when Gawn hits his buy, and use that cash, 750K from Gawn, plus the 250K rookie, put them together, get two 500K midfielders who are down on price. So maybe you can hopefully have a little bit of cash in the bank and get a little bit better midfielders. But you look at the guys that have dropped out, Anderson, Heaney, like obviously Rao, Dawson. There's a whole lot. Dacos and Butters are going to get down to around the 550 mark, if not cheaper. So if you're in a position where you could say turn Gawn and a rookie into Butters and Dacos, you're doing that every day of the week. So I wouldn't be bringing guys in before they've had their buy, but Gawn and turning him into two guys that have already had their buy who could potentially be uber premiums in the run home. I think it's definitely worth the conversation. It's not for everyone, but I think it's definitely got to be looked at.
Oh, thank you for that, Swizz. Now, we're live, been 15 minutes live. We're still stuck on the same first question. Okay, so we're going to now ask the first question now to Brad. And now Brad's, we're asking, the five of us are not in the top 50 right now. So Brad's in the top 43 now. So it's a bit tougher to answer this question, Brad. So you're in a very good situation. You do not want to take any risk right now. You want to play safe as houses right now. And if you are going to take risks, they're going to be good calculated risks. So what are your thoughts? Because you did mention this on a tweet. So what would you be doing now? Are you going to keep going, or would you be thinking about trading him out?
Well, the point is for this one, it's so situational. Like I've got Finn Callahan and McRae now out, so that sort of really ties me up there. I can't really use the Gawn money. If I only had one of those guys, I'd probably trade Gawn and him and bank some money left over, like a Sinclair and Whitfield, and then bank 100 or 200K. In the situation as well, if I didn't have any of those three injured players, I'd probably use Gawn and a rookie at 300 and something K, and combine it to two 500K primos, get more scoring out of a Whitfield and Sinclair as opposed to a rookie and Gawn, and then hope at some point Gawn comes down to 600K. All he needs is one bad game, and then for the next two after that, you've got him again. I also don't think there's a world where he maintains the price of 744, a break-even of 180. I did this about a month ago. I went Rowan Marshall to TDK down to Rowan Marshall, banked 125K, did this a week or two before everybody else got on it. And that is the huge reason why I'm in the top, 50, probably for that move. Like I just banked so much points money, and then I used the money the week after to upgrade some players, which I can't remember who. But I think, like you said in previous videos, Abs, to use the stock market play with these high-priced primos, you've got to become creative instead of trying to always go for these rookies that haven't, cashed out yet to be fat enough. So you've got to find different strategies. And if a guy that's 150K cheaper that can score around the same price because he's a fallen primo, you take that punt every day of the week. I think it's just more about calculated risk, and if you can do it in your side. You're not going to take this risk if you've got 3 injuries, of course. But if you're injury-free and you're outside the top 1K, then there's a world where I'd be full sending it, playing against the grain and trying to make those numbers up. Because everyone on this bench that I've seen that I get photos from looks fairly dead. Even mine's a little bit funny. Like I've got maybe 6 guys, but they're not even 300K apart from bias. So for me, if I had 0 injuries this week, I'm not even catfishing. I'd probably use Gawn and a rookie into 2 primos and just hope Gawn comes back down in 2-3 weeks' time after his buy or something like that.
Oh, that's an awesome answer, young man. Now, that's why you're in the top 43, Brad, because of that nice answer you made. So very, very, very happy with that answer. Now, we're going to go to some questions here, okay? We've got some questions, and I'm going to pass these on one at a time. So we'll pass them on to each one of you. We're not all going to answer the same question because we're going to be stuck on a 5-hour stream answering 5 questions. So we're going to start with Aaron Phillips has asked us a question now, okay? Let's have a look. We've got 2 questions. We're going to bring the first one up. Okay, he says here, hey, lads, keen for tonight. Biggest question of the week, Anderson versus Green. Now, who would know? Actually, Swizz was talking about Anderson. So, Swizz, which one do you think, Anderson versus Green?
Can I say neither for both? I think if you're probably choosing, maybe it's Anderson, but you always has the yo-yo scoring. I thought Green pulled up a little sore from the weekend of that, and I'm worried about the fact that I know he's going to be the only man in there with Callahan missing, but does that just mean it's all on him? Like any attention that they're going to give is going straight. Like Carlton's this week, surely Hewitt just goes straight to Green and locks down on him. So I don't like that at all. At least with Anderson, they've got still Rao there, but I think Anderson's probably the one who got the attention. I prefer guys like Heaney, Dawson, I think there's other options, or even looking at the extra defender. Like, I'm not against having a defender in your midfield this year, because the way the game's been played, I think defenders are outscoring some of the midfielders, just the way footy's changed at the moment. So, my actual answer would probably be neither. But if you want one, I'm going to go Anderson.
Yeah, I actually mentioned that on one of my videos. I said I want my whole team full of defenders. I don't want any midfielders, and I actually like that idea. Now let's go to Aaron's got another question, because Aaron's being gritty guts right now, so he's got another question to ask. Right now, I'm going to go to Aaron's second question. Okay, now he says here, who has more cash gen? Now this one's going to be for you, Super Couch Potato. All right, so you're going to work at this one out. Now, who has more cash gen? Simpson saves a trade but hold McRae. All right. Or get Shy Bolton and then get in JFH when he bottoms out. So he's asking Simpson or Shy Bolton, who makes more money?
I'd probably go with Simpson, as long as he can stay in the team. I didn't watch all the game, but he looked pretty good off halfback. I think that's pretty good if he stays in. I just don't trust Shy Bolton. I mean, I've got him in draft, had him all year. I don't know if people realize he dropped a 5 just a few weeks ago in 100 minutes of footy. I know he's had a good run. He's got a low break even, but he's going to drop 50s. And I don't know. I just don't see him being a permanent forward keeper. So, yeah, you might make 80K on him quickly in 2 weeks. If he does all right, he could easily drop a 40 or 50 this week and make half that. So, I just think it's better to cash in and go with Simpson personally. That's what I'm avoiding. Bolton.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the same question to Brad, because Brad's a Tiger and he knows all about Shy Bolton. Okay, I know Swizz does too, but Swizz already had a question, so the others are getting jealous now. So I'm going to ask Brad the same question now. Who would you go for, Brad? Simpson or Shy Bolton? Especially you're ranked 43, so we've got different rankings here. Like, for example, myself, I'm ranked 700,000 right now. So for me, I'm going for Shy Bolton, because I don't need these rookies. I've got no money anyway. So what's the extra 100,000 going to do for my teams? It's nothing. So I might as well go for the points. So ranked 700,000, I'm going to go for Shy Bolton. But what would you do in your situation, Brad? Ranked 43.
Well, I went Simpson a week early because he looked like he had the best rookie role out of all those guys early on. So I didn't really like the other ones. I know Sims was okay, but it didn't really do much for my forward line. If I had an R3 swing, it would have been nice. But for me, I'm going to actually probably go Shy Bolton, but Couch is actually worried me here with this comment about Bolton. But his break even's so low that he could make you 100K, play a few good games, and then get to 550, 560, and I'm flipping him for Dacos as a straight swap. So I'm not banking on him to have a 4 or 5 week patch. It might even be just a 2-3 week play. You've made 120K as you would on a rookie, and then you're flipping him to a butters even after his buy. So, and the other thing with a Bolton type, he's 100K cheaper than a Sarong, who could probably average the same for the next 2-3 weeks. So for me, you bank 90, whatever it is, 90 to 100K, and you get the points on the field. The only risk there is if he does drop 140 in that 3 week period, then you're stuffed. But if you're just going one up and one down, Simpson's the logical answer. I think he's the rookie of the week by far. And if you don't need to risk a Bolton, I also wouldn't. It just really depends. If you've got no one else to go to, I'd go Bolton as your next cash cow, as weird as that sounds for me. But yeah, I'm still might do that even at the rank of 43, to be honest.
Scott, have you seen Freo's draw? Like, mate, Freo's draw home games coming up soon.
4 of the next 5 at home.
Yeah, against absolute trash teams as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Now, actually, let's go to our super coach Horse here, and he's actually studied this topic, so he specializes in this topic. So let's ask this question now: Simpson or Bolton? Which one are you going to pick this week? If you only had to pick one, I'm
going to go Bolton, because you could look at Simpson like a Caden Cleary, for example, 120 odd K. Got to 260. It's $140,000 he's made. Bolton, if he did the same thing, he gets to 570. And then you look at the scoring difference or scoring potential of both Bolton and Simpson. Simpson looks 60 or 65. You'd expect that out of him. Bolton, he's got 4 of the next 5 games at Optus Stadium in Perth against, they play Essendon, and I'm well aware that we'll probably get hammered over there. But they're all high-scoring games where he could go bananas and where Freo could spend or have a lot of ball in their forward lines in each of those games. So I think wheels up for Bolton if you've got the agates to do it.
Now, I'm looking at Steve here. He's going to jump out of the screen once I enter this question. I can see it in his eyes. Okay, he's about to jump out. He's like a lion right now. So I'm going to ask Steve this question now. Which one do you think? Which one would you go? Would you do Simpson? Because I don't have either of these two players myself. I know our ranked 43 player picked up Simpson last week early because that's why he's ranked 43. But that Abs Magic, we're a bit slow this year, so we didn't pick up Simpson. So would you pick up Simpson or Bolton? Which one would you do?
So I guess who has the more cash gen? I think Shy Bolton will make more, but I think the value of having Simpson as a green dot, hopefully throughout the buys, can help for 300k less. So because the key is getting as we go through the buy rounds, having 19 each week is so important because we will have rookies that we feel that will probably be sub, and we don't want that involved in our best 18. So I think Bolton, with the increase of CBAs in recent weeks and the good run that Freo has, I think Bolton can get to that 580, 600k mark in a run. So I think for the question who has more cash gen, I think Shy Bolton, but I think a lot of people will be going Simpson over him. And yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that answer, young man. Now, let's go to Dylan Teeth. And we're going to do one at a time now. We're not going to answer. That was a big question, okay? It was an important question. That's why all the panelists are jumping, right? Because they couldn't wait to answer it. But this one, we're going to go straight to Super Couch Potato again, okay? Now, because it says here, best trading option right now. Doesn't matter the price. Which one? Who do you want out of all the players? The best trading option? And this is coming from Dylan Teets.
This really depends on your weakest link in your team. I'd be wanting to upgrade a 50 average rookie to the best possible player in that position. So that's the way I look at things. I don't want to upgrade a 100 average player to 130 like Max Gawn at the moment. You're only netting 30 points. We're trying to look for the biggest improvement to the team. So it's completely team dependent. Hard to say. Just the top of the line. If you need to upgrade defense, go for Whitfield if you don't have them, or Sinclair, for instance. If you're looking in the mids, go for Bont. If you're missing a Gawn or Cherry, then go for one of them. So that's the sort of way I'd look at it.
Okay, well, that's a very, very good answer, young man. Now, this man that we're going to put on there doesn't like cheese. Okay, so we're not going to have any discussion about cheese right now. So, I don't like cheese. It says category horse is looking like a beautiful man today. So thank you for that comment, young man. Now,
way to make a grown man blush.
Now we're gonna go now to Scott Walker, and he says, "Good day, fellas. Is it all right to leave Simpson till next week?" I'm gonna answer that one myself and say no. If you're gonna pick up Simpson, break even of -50, it has to be done this week, or just forget about it. Okay, that's how I'd see it. Now,
Abs, we've just had some news in too. Elijah Hollins is stepping away from footy to look after his mental health.
Is that the breaking news right now?
Right now. Yep.
Wow. Is he the one for Finger? Somebody
sounds
else?
Like another strike, or
that was somebody else for Finger, yeah?
Yeah, so he's stepping away from footy, which is going to open up some more midfield time there for Carlton.
Okay, so where was he? He was playing the wing, or was he playing the midfield?
He was playing, wasn't he? Squeeze Yidno more, mate. Half forward midfield for Elijah Hollins.
Yeah, more than half forward.
So who replaces him? Is that one of the Campariellis come in? Who comes in?
Did actually have I literally had a message before saying who was coming in for the Blues, and I'm trying to scroll through going. So I'll see if I can find that.
I think the Doc has replaced him. I've heard that the Doc replaced him.
Yeah, I think that was what I'd seen.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we've got another message here. This is coming from Hyman. Now, before we go to this message, just have a look at because we're here to promote Brad today, right? The Supercoach Pro. Now, how many more do we need now? Subscribers. We're at the 967 subscribers. We need 33 more subscribers to get Brad to 1,000. So what are you all waiting for? Just come on down, okay? We got to get him to 1,000, and please help us do this, okay? This is for Brad. It's gonna make him a very rich man if we could do this for him. So we're hoping that Brad can get to 1,000. Now our next question was, what a crew? This has come from the E-man, or the H-man. Okay, now this is the S crew today. Now the H-man saying, what a crew tonight, including my teammate in the Scott Farber tag team, Steve SDS. Actually, are you tag team tonight with the He-man SDS?
Yes,
Did you
yes,
know
we
that?
are. Yes.
Okay, so don't give out your secrets. I just keep it at whatever you got. Don't give out secrets. It says here, he's tossing up between Green and Marshall for McRae, already subbed as Supercoach Pro as well. So thank you, H man, for subscribing. Now, what was the question? I can't even understand the question. Okay, it says Green and Marshall for McRae.
One of those
Green.
two for McRae.
So it's probably which one would you go? You got to help. This is for you. So the question is straight to you. This is for the tag team. You can't get this one wrong. Okay, so you have to get this one right.
Oh, God.
No pressure.
So the thing with Marshall is he's been great over the past few weeks. He's looking a lot more back to normal, but I believe he's got 2 difficult matchups and then the bye where so I think it's Wits this week and then
Gawn
just
the
coming
following
down who they got Melbourne, Max Gawn. So it's Gawn and Wits over the next 2 weeks for Marshall, then the bye. But obviously the main thing would be the break even. So I guess if you wanted to grab Marshall now, you grab him. And just keep an eye out on your buys as well, because you don't want to load up too much on one buy. So just make sure you haven't got too many St Kilda or Freo guys before you make the move. So I think I would go with Marshall. I think Green can stay
What do you
around
reckon Marshall will average?
105 plus, 108.
What do you think Green would average?
About the same. So that's why it's a tough
okay.
question, Couchy.
Yeah,
I disagree. I think
Yeah.
Oh, you
Green by a
reckon?
mile. Yeah, I think Green will average 111,
Oh, okay.
which makes it pretty clear when you look at it that way. Last year, you take away his injury-affected game, he averaged 111 over 20 plus games. Not a small sample. This year, I think he's sitting at 21 overall average. When you look at mids only, he's the 13th highest mid, and that's with some of the DPP defenders in there and forwards in there as well. So I think he'll be a top 10 mid.
What's
Green,
their draw like?
from here.
What's GW? Any tags coming
Amazing.
from GW?
I think they've got a very
Yeah.
good draw.
Giants have the best run for the rest of the season regarding
Agreed.
inside midfielders,
Oh, really?
according to DFS.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a 50-50. Let's toss the coin. All right. So whatever it lands on, heads or
I'm
tails.
80. I'm 80-20. 80% Green, 20% Marshall.
Okay, you've
I'm
actually talked me into
50-50.
green with yourself. I might even go green myself this week. Okay, actually, I'm going to ask you a question here, all of you, just a yes or a no. Okay, that's all I need. Because I'm poor, as you know, as Magic. I'm thinking about bringing in Nathan. I don't want to say it too loud. I'm too embarrassed and too shy to say this, but Nathan O'Driscoll. Okay, what do you think? Can he go at 90s at 300k? Is it worth it?
Yes.
We'll start. Yes, we got one yes.
No, I wouldn't
no.
risk it. First game back, I wouldn't risk it.
No.
We've seen players come in after injury-related absences from the AFL. Coleman, Bontempelli is probably the exception to the rule.
He's a freak.
Philippou, these sorts of players, and they all struggle after spending a sustained amount of time out of the top level. So for people to expect O'Driscoll just to hit the track again straight into averaging 90, it's probably a tad unrealistic.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
He's got a good run, though.
He's out of my team now. I'm not going to bring him in. Okay, now this one's going to go to our top 43 ranked player. Okay, and this is going to go to the Supercoach Pro, and it says here, this is from Daniel's Pigeons. Okay, and it says here, are we going to be able to get a 23 primo team this year?
I think we will, honestly, with the trades we've got left for the amount of upgrades we have. I've done the math. We should be able to. But the 23rd might be a Callum Mills, a Kitty Coleman, a Rao if he goes, another poor game or two with the tags coming up in their run. I think it's definitely worth it. I've even considered flirting with some of these really bad players that are discounted to make more money. Like the worst trade I've come up with, and probably get unsubbed for this, is thinking about McRae and Finn down to Bolton and Rao to make 193,000. A bit of a stock market play, but for me, I think it's too risky with the way Rao plays at Marvel. But I think we'll easily be able to get a 23rd from, I don't know, maybe just after the buys by the looks of it. We just need those 99K mid-season draft rookies, honestly, to provide that, though, to be honest.
And we got Brian here telling us that we've got the Harlem Globetrotters here, okay, all the basketball players of the Supercoach community. So it's good to see. Now, the Crazy Frog has put up a little tweet or a little question. It says there, while we so many legends on live stream. Now, the Crazy Frog, if no one knows him, he came first, was it 2 years ago in one of the weeks. So he won a $2,000 jackpot, and because he's a crazy frog, he does crazy things. And
he loves the pods.
Yes, he loves his pods. And he's asking here, McRae plus, what's the question here? Okay. McRae plus Lockie Ash. Are you trading out Lockie Ash to Simpson Bolton?
Well, they call him crazy, mate.
No,
He's
I wouldn't do that.
Okay. The crazy frog has gone bananas.
500.
Okay, let's pretend we didn't see this question. Okay, the crazy man. Okay, now let's go to Slim. Okay, now Slim, he says here, a crater cluster styles for the big bad. Okay, cool. He's just giving us a big head right now. So thank you, Slim. Now let's go to Double Dummy. Okay, now what's Double Dummy got to say now? He says, who out of SPP and Cleary do you keep for another week? I've already gone Finn and McRae, to Dunkley and Sinclair, and he wants to get Simpson. So he wants to trade out SPP or Cleary to Simpson. Who's going out of here? Who wants to answer?
Cleary gone.
Cleary
is out. Okay, he's out the door. Now we have a question from Brian. Before we go to Brian's question, let's have a look at our Supercoach Pro subscribers. We're 967 before. We're at 973 now, so we need 27 more subscribers. Okay, everyone, 27 more of you, please. Just press that subscribe button, which is in the description below, and we're gonna have a party. We're all gonna sing. So actually, Swizz is gonna sing a song for us. Just come on down. Now,
no one wants to see that, mate.
It takes 5 seconds to do.
Oh, jeez.
We've got Brian on, and Brian says here, are we expecting too much of Mills when he comes back? Anyone who taught Flanders continue his previous scoring? I can't even speak English anymore. I'm too excited. Okay, so do we think that Flanders is gonna keep scoring badly? Okay, that's one question. And what do we think of Mills? Who knows anything about Mills? Now, we saw last week in the reserves, he had 100 touches and scored 100 Supercoach points. He went nuts in half a game. Can he continue that in the real game? Will he play in the midfield? Can anyone answer this question? We have no takers. So,
I've no idea.
None of us have an answer for this one yet, man. We're all going to watch one game of Mills and see what he does. Okay, we don't have a clue
at least one.
yet. Yeah, we're going to at least watch one game.
I think he's going to be like a Baz situation where we're overthinking this at 300 and something K. I reckon he's going to average 90s. I think he'll be safe. We're just going to wait until he's on the bubble. But I have no doubt that he's going to return to form. He's the one player from injury that I'm pretty confident with. Coleman's a little bit different, but Mills, we've seen a history of Mills over years. I'm very confident.
Last year wasn't good, though. He averaged 73 coming back.
I reckon he'll be fine. He's going to have a bounce back, and I reckon he'll be fine. I might be calling this early. I like to go a little bit early on some things. Like I could buy D6 for life, and that didn't work. But there's a chance that I just think Mills, he's got to come good at some point. And maybe this is the year we look at him and we go, all right, let's finish off our teams, and he's our 23rd.
Now, last year we just got mentioned from last year with Mills. I think last year he didn't get much mid time, and I think the coach in the preseason said that we're going to give Mills a lot of mid time, and they actually don't have any midfielders. So it could be the old Mills coming back, because last year the horse, a different horse, okay, not our horse, but a different horse was the coach last year. So I think this year we're going to see a different Mills. I got that feeling. Okay, I got the same feeling as as the man in the green. You can see the little green screen he's got there. So I've got the same feeling about him. Now, what are we thinking about Flanders? What's happening with Flanders? Swizz, you may know a bit more about Flanders because I don't know why I don't even know why I'm picking you for this one, but let's just go with Flanders. What do you
Is it
think?
because I've got a Gold Coast jumper hanging in behind me, mate? You just say,
That's a
well, he's the only one
possibility.
that has any idea about the Suns. It's all roll, mate. It's just, it's funny because their percentage for their midfield, everybody used to criticize Stewie Dew on the fact that it was all Raul Anderson Took. And everyone's saying, criticize him for not changing it up. But Dimmer's doing literally the exact same thing. And it's those three with Bailey, Humphrey, and a couple others, spattering through. But so he's not got that role. And the other role where he was really beneficial in was half back. And they literally fixing that 20% because he had 80% of the premiership team. He went out and got Rioli and Noble, who are absolutely killing it off the half back. So Flanders can't go there. So it literally leaves Flanders to play off the half forward flank. And though that could be like a Rankin role, he's not even getting that because more Humphrey's playing more that role. So he's kind of in no man's land at the moment.
Spot on.
Yep. Agree. Now, before we go to the next question, okay, we're going to check out Supercoach Pro's subs again. We're at 981 right now. So if you want to hear Swizz sing a song for us,
God,
we
we
need
don't.
19 more subscribers.
What's he singing?
And Swizz is going to sing
Jeez.
for us. Just come on
If
down.
I tell my other half that, she would be like, just shut the forum down right now because she's like, I do not sing.
We may even get Brad to sing for us. I'll work it out. Or Steve. I heard that Steve's got a good voice as well.
Steve's
so
got a great voice.
Oh, no.
One of us is going to sing tonight.
Look at
today
it. That's
anyway.
a
So we'll
singing
just see who
voice.
it is. Now, we got another legend.
Oh, you know what,
Damo.
Scott? You know what mine is? Mine's Stephen Kernahan after winning a premiership. That's what I sound like.
You got to
Now,
sing that then.
Oh, yeah.
Damo has complimented us and he's told us we're a beautiful bunch of people. So thank you very much, Damo. And we got a question here, and this is a good question because we've already discussed Green and Anderson, so let's not discuss them. This is coming from Staple, and he wants to talk about Nick Martin. Okay, now we got a shake of a head already from the horse. Speak to us now. What do you think about Nick Martin? What's wrong?
Last year, maybe, but this year, no. We see what Coach Scott is doing with the likes of Zach Merritt and other premiums within the side. The injury crisis that we've got, the fact that he's throwing players around into different roles. He could be on a halfback flank this week, score, they're playing Richmond, so he'll probably score 3 million. But then next week, he might go back to half forward and the ball goes into our forward 50 20 times, he scores a 70. So when we're talking consistency, I don't think it's there for Nick Martin this year.
Okay, so it's a no for Nick Martin coming through from our Essendon expert here, the horse. Now, we've got another question coming up. This is from Nick Karanakis, is the Greek boy. Okay, Tikanis to Nick. Now, he says here, help please, Luke Jackson or Rowan Marshall. Now, we spoke about Rowan Marshall before, but Luke Jackson's another problem on its own. So, who wants to answer this one? Okay, maybe we go to our Supercoach Potato. Okay, I'm going to give him the tough questions.
Geez.
Okay, now,
is this a flex? Or is this? I wouldn't want
I'd
them at
say this
R2.
is for flex.
that's for
Let's
sure.
say for flex. This will
You'd
be
think
flex.
flex, wouldn't you?
I'd
you
go
could,
Rowan
you could
Marshall.
do Jackson R2, couldn't you? And just move him if you needed to.
Yeah,
You couldn't.
I don't know. I don't trust Jackson. He's good while Darcy's out, but
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying.
want to have him.
You could have, at
We
least
need
if
to
he's
be okay
R2, you
with
can
the
move
centre.
him. He's at least one that can be moved. Where, but it's a
Okay,
short
so
term play.
okay, now we got is this a question? No, this is just
Just
Papa
puff
Fish
piece.
giving us a compliment. So thank you for that compliment, young man. Now we've got a big question here. It's coming from Aaron. What has more value to flexibility cover scoring potentially at the flex position, a mid forward or a mid defense? I think Swizz has answered this one already by saying that defensive position because we've got so many good defenders. Although the forwards are not a good value at the moment, a lot of the forwards are very cheap. But I think scoring wise, the defenders can be scoring better. So maybe a mid defense. Although Cheezels, the player that I sacked, looks like he's playing forward now. So maybe I sacked him for a good reason. Okay, back then. But actually, talk about Cheezels. All right, let's talk about Cheezels. Okay. if he plays forward again this week, all right, let's say he scores another 80, all right, he's got value on him right now, on his head. I'm going to ask this question actually to Brad, because at rank 43, it's a tough topic for him, okay? Now, he's going to fix his problems this week already with the players that are out. So next week, he has an underperforming player in defense who's scoring 80s and is valued around about 550K. Would you hold him, Brad, or would you think about trading him out?
I'm definitely going to hold him for the season. Worst case, I'll push him to D7, M9. My plan is, if the top 1%, he's highly owned anyway. So if everyone trades him out next week and I go one up, after Sheasel's buy, I've then got one Primo and a Sheasel versus someone that's got Sinclair and a rookie. So I'll upgrade the side around those issues like I've done all year, and then maybe flick them maybe after I've got a fully upgraded side. But DPP just lets me to believe that his role is going to change every week regardless of Clarko. So I'm not going to worry about this one too much. I'll loop him in the future if I have to, but it means I'm looking at a Tom Stewart when he bottoms out at 400K and a Mills, etc., and just play the long game and hope that everyone trades out these highly owned players, because if they keep doing that, that's how I've got so far ahead. I feel like I'm one Primo maybe up on some of the competition, just looking on my team compared to some others. And I think it's purely because I haven't sideways as much as someone else, perhaps. But I just think it's not worth it unless he was like 620, 630, and then I saw the roll then, perhaps. But at 570, I can't really go down anywhere. I can only go to like a Noble at 515, which would bank me 50K or something like that. So for me, it's just not worth it at the price at this point. And the flexibility too, it's just so important late in the season when you've got no trades to have those DPP players. So I think his role could change at any given point if they have a few backline injuries too. So I'm sort of banking on that.
So we're holding on the Chisels. Okay, so Chisels are hold. Now
Scott,
we have
on that. I might to expand on that. He plays West Coast after his bye first week. His lowest score in 4 matches against the Eagles is 114.
Wow,
that's his lowest score. Okay, well,
that's his lowest.
Big BC game coming up for him. But that's, again, he might have played in defense, so maybe a different role.
Maybe all 4 games, maybe, but it is West Coast.
Yeah, it is against West Coast. You're right. Now, we have a question here about Jordan Clark. And again, the Freo man's not here to answer this one. But Jordan Clark, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Who wants to answer this one?
I've got him in my side. I reckon he's a beautiful price. He's probably the price that I look at this week. Him and Sinclair, the most valuable primos for what they are. So I love the pick. Like, he's dropped one stinker. Other than that, you can close your eyes and know that he's going to score 105 every time you open up the app. So I think he's a perfect pick. And he's got the good buy. So there's no overthinking about this one. I'd full send if I didn't have Clark already.
Okay, so lock him in. Now, in 2 minutes' time, actually 1 minute time, the teams drop. So I don't know how to put the screen up for the team. So one of you gents have to read it out.
We'll just read it out as they come out, mate.
Yeah. Now,
I might while you're at it. Sorry, I've got to take off. I've got to do some family stuff.
We're gonna lose the horse now. So we thank you very much for coming on the show, horse, and we really appreciate it. And we're gonna miss you. Okay, for the next half an hour, you'll be missed. So
bunch of legends and great work, Brad. Good job, mate.
Thank you.
Okay.
Love you all.
Love.
Remove the horse. Now he's gone, and we thank him very much. He's a very young, fine young gentleman. Now we got here another question, and it's coming from the Greek Raven, another Greek boy. Okay, he says here, that's a panel of legends. Jackson for McRae and Bice leaves me with 16 trades and 4 rookies to upgrade. Lindsay, Trainer, Hewitt, and Cleary. But does anyone understand that question? Okay, now Jackson for McRae. So have we agreed on Jackson? Do we like Jackson? I think anyone.
I don't mind Jackson.
You don't mind the Jackson? Is it too risky with Shrek to come back in?
Shrek probably comes back in for a week and goes out again.
Yeah.
If we can hear Longmuir say, I'd love to hear Longmuir say that he is the number 1 ruck going forward, and we're looking to use Jacko for the rest of the year, then I think I wouldn't mind Jacko. But yeah, the forward ruck DPP is nice, but yeah, it might be a short-term play.
Okay. Now, do we have any teams in at the moment, Swizz? Has anything come up yet?
No, nothing yet, mate. I'll let you know. I'll
Nothing
give you
yet?
a
Okay.
signal on that.
Brad sounds
Mate,
shocked.
do you know how much Darcy's worth in Waffle Supercoach?
Darcy.
It's a joke, mate. It's all good.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. Now, we're going to go now to a big question here, okay? This is coming from TTSC, TTS Supercoach. And now it says here, Evening Goats. Okay, now he's obviously talking about you guys here now. It says here, thinking of JHF and Hewitt to Tom Green and Simpson.
I love that first option.
You like this one?
Yeah.
So JHF and Hewitt to Tom Green and Simpson. I know I'm actually going to follow you this week and probably jump on Tom Green now because you've liked him so much. The Potato said
I've got
Tom
about
Green,
10
I'm jumping on-
options. I wouldn't trust me, but we'll see. I'm waiting for
well, yeah,
teams.
Trust me, I don't trust me either. So JHF and Bice to Whitfield and Simpson. I don't mind this one either. Okay, now who scores more, Tom Green or Whitfield?
Oh.
Whitfield.
Whitfield,
Whitfield.
yeah, it's a better role. Yeah,
Yeah, Whitfield.
yeah, we're all going
I'd
for
say
Whitfield on this
similar.
one.
But all right, look at it the other way. Who scores more, Hewitt or Bice?
Bice.
Oh, well,
By
Bice,
how much?
but who loses more? Cash.
I don't know. I still think Bice might average. I think he's pretty good. I think he'll come back. I know it was a pretty poor game last week, but I just can't stand having Hewitt on field. I miss all his 90s and only field his like 50s and 30s. So I'd
At
be
least-
wanting to get
yeah.
Hewitt off. He's got a
Yeah, I
high
think
break
Hewitt-
even as well.
yeah.
They both have an 80 break even. So they're going to lose the same. I'd be keeping Bice personally
Yep.
out of those two.
Yeah, I've actually held Bice myself, even though he's got a pretty high break even. I don't have a choice, so I've held him myself. I'm going to try to hold him for the buy rounds as well if I can, because
Same,
in the buy
yeah.
rounds is when you need these players. So I'm going to hold him as long as I can. And we got a congratulations from the centre bounce saying congrats in advance, Brad. So let's have a look at how many you need now before we get some opera singers on. All right, we're up to 980. We need 13 more.
Come on.
13 more. We're nearly there. We're at 987. And now who says 87 is an unlucky number? So we're going to find 13 more. Now we have another question. And this is coming from Alex Bosniak. He says here, how many of you legends are jumping on Bolton? Well, I'm one of them. So I'm going to jump on Bolton. We got 2 jumping on Bolton.
I'm 50-50.
We got 150. We got 2 not jumping on, 2 jumping on, and one's at 50. So 2.5 out of 5. So that should give you a lot of confidence.
Can I just say, those projections look very high, right? And if you
Dawn
achieve
181.
those for Bolton, no. So, like, even if he hits those really high projections, he might make what 80k, not even 48,000, and about 80k. So all it takes is one poor game in the next 3, and he might only make you 40 grand. What are you going to do if he's sitting at 480? He's not really a keeper if that happens. So I don't know. I'm not
I think
on.
he is. I think he's an F6 with a flat. Because my F6 is going to be either, say, a Bolton or Jeremy Cameron, because I want somebody who's a high ceiling or a and I don't care if he scores a 5 or a 10 on any given week, because that's why we've got the flex. And I said this in pre-season, we want somebody who either a Charlie Kerner, somebody who can go 140, 150 on any given week on the run home as your F6. But if they score poorly, your flex is covering them anyway. But that's the sort of difference where you can either climb rankings or win league matchups.
Yeah, I actually like the Jeremy Cameron pick, especially in the run home. And you're the first one to point this out. You mentioned Jeremy Cameron, and his run home is going to be unbelievable. The perfect, actually, is the perfect F7 if you can get him. So if you can loop Jeremy Cameron and Bolton, now we're talking about rich clubs, not Abs Magic. So obviously we can't do this, but maybe some of you rich people out there can do this. So if you can have Bolton and Jeremy Cameron F6, F7, and then have a spare player in the flex position, you're going to be flying. So it's something that I would aim at. So for me, Bolton at his price, it's a bargain, especially with that 50% mid roll. I absolutely love it. At Richmond, he was actually decent with the 50% mid roll. But there were games where Bolton gets in a grumpy mood, and when he's in that grumpy mood, he's not good because he gives away 50-meter penalties, starts going crazy and just gives up on the game. So it's one of those things with Bolton. Now,
Right, here we go, Scott. Here we go. And the only other one I was looking at was maybe Visitini, but we'll talk about it. It all depends on these teams. So obviously Angus Clark we know is in, Sardar Harley and Day Wicks out, apart from a few other people. I'll keep the relevant ones here. Nan Curvis managed from Richmond.
wow,
Nate the Tank. So huge. So for those who have got Goldie, you've got Ryan going up against him. So congratulations to those Goldie
actually,
owners.
wait. Stop there.
Yes.
Who's playing against Nank this week? Which ruckman is playing against Nank this week?
Nank's not playing.
So
what I'm
who's
saying.
up
It's
against
Goldie.
Nank this week? Did you say Goldie?
Goldie versus Ryan.
Now, who has Goldie in their team? Which
Yes,
crazy
mate,
team?
you're
VC.
Got him in
VC
draft.
You got to check
Okay,
the
now
VC on him.
Big news. Okay, now we're going to captain
the
Goldie.
the Bombers are the
Goldie's
biggest lock in the world. Out Richmond are out. Obviously Bolter because of curfew. Tommy Lynch, Nank, that's an absolute thrashing against us.
Trainer stocks, eh? Come on,
Yes,
trainer.
trainers,
You owe me.
Yeah, let's go, trainer.
Because my worst trade of the year when I went Zach Reed to Nick Dacos, how that doesn't pay off. But we won't visit that for the 100th time this season. For the Blues, as we mentioned earlier, Elijah Holland's out for personal reasons. You've got TDK is back there. Finn Callahan is out. They've brought in Lee Kalia and Harry.
Actually, before you go,
Harry
sorry,
Ralston. Yeah,
who's in for Carlton?
I'll say
Is
nothing.
Carlton.
out?
Your ins are Carlton. You got Harry O'Farrell, who's new, Lockie Fogarty, TDK, Blake Akers, and Sam Doherty. Out for them is Elijah, Silvani, Pitternet, Evans, and Jordan Boyd.
Wow, pitching it out. Could have kept
Ooh.
TDK. Doesn't matter. All right, that's it.
Wait,
I thought
Carroll
Leafs
stayed
wins.
in?
Carroll's still in. Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, we'll take
Wow. Okay.
Yep. And he's not even named in the last position at the moment, so we know that doesn't mean a lot. But at the same time, the fact that he's not named last on the bench is always a decent sign. For the Hawks and Lions game, Impey, Gunston, Meek, and Nash. So the person who messaged me saying Huswaite would be back, you can go to hell. Reeves, McDonald, McGuinness, and Dia all out. Kitty Coleman out with Connor McKenna for the and Dev
actually
Robertson
good.
is back for the Lions. Didn't know.
Okay,
For the
so
Pies, Steele's been managed for William Hayes, as we know, making his debut. Zach Fisher is in, so that does mean Sheasel will probably play forward because obviously Fisher will sit there. That's bad for also Caleb Daniel. So yeah, that's the Collingwood North game.
Isn't Tucker out? Is that why Fisher's back? Maybe
No,
because
it's Bailey Scott and Zane Dersmer out.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Freo, no change. And you got Port Adelaide, new player Hugh Jackson. They've brought back BZT, Boak, Rory Atkins, out Radicalea, Jones, Sin, and Horn Francis. Visitini is still the ruck. Jordan Sweet is obviously the emergency. Jordan Sweet got beaten in the Sandfall. They had the dual ruck, Sweet and Soldo, and they got beaten by, I think the guy's name, Mac Andrew for Adelaide, but I don't think he's a listed player, and actually got beaten in the ruck last week. So Visitini is somebody I've toyed on of the idea of maybe not Bolton and getting him, but how many weeks, it's going to take one bad game and then potentially he's out. So I don't like it because I know we've had that in the group chat. It's probably the more I look at that, but the fact that they both got beaten in the reserves last week.
Can I recommend Goldie against Richmond? Might be a good pick this week. Goldie, price of 390. It's an absolute bargain right now.
So for the Crow Eaters, nothing out at the moment in Pedler, Draper, and Dowling. For the Eagles, Cripps and Owies are out. Their extended ins are Noah Long, Archer Reid, Bo Allen, Clay Hall, and Duar. So that gives them a bench of Jimby, Long, Reid is in A Reid, Bo Allen, Gross. So they're part of the top five at the moment, and they've got Hall, Williams, and Duar. So it'll be interesting to see which way the Eagles go there. And then the final game will be, I think that's the final game coming up. So two more games to go. Melbourne and Sydney. D's interesting in Jai Cully with Bailey Laurie and Jake Lever, but that's obviously an extended bench. For Sydney in Cal Mills with McLean, Taylor Adams, Patton, a couple other players there. And then McInerney goes out with Amati and Francis. And the last game is the Suns, who are just 3 ins, no outs. And for the Saints out, McLennan, McRae, Collard, and Hugo Garcia dropped. In Killer, Jones, Clark, Henry, Hasty, Boxshall, and Heath. And let's just see where they're named on the bench. Boxshall is named, sixth on the bench. So probably doesn't hold.
Great.
Mm.
Great trade in.
No good.
Yeah,
That was a bad one. I'm surprised if Garcia's out. Surely Boxall plays. I mean, they lost.
Surely,
Surely,
because they got no midfielders.
It's Ross Lyon.
Like they're the only thing I think from the they've named Zach Jones in the midfield. I thought Philippou would probably be getting that time, but they've got at the moment the extended bench is Trafalgar, Clark, Wilson, Henry, and Hasty, and then it's Boxshall, Hall, and Heath. So you don't think it'd be Heath won't be the one because he's obviously
named?
the backup ruck. So
Where's Philippou named?
centre half forward.
Yeah, yuck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, we all waited for Philippou to join this team, and we're especially myself, I was very excited to pay $300K for a Philippou that was going to be a primo for me, but it's not going to happen. Also waited for Kitty Coleman at $250K to be a primo for me. That's not going to happen. Waited for Nathan O'Driscoll. He didn't even get named, so we're stuffed at it. We're going to spend the big bucks. So I'm probably who would you bring in this week? I'm going to bring in one player this week. Okay, I'm going to ask all of you the same question now, and whoever gets it right, I'm going to pick that player. Okay, so
Grimo just made a point. The Saints is in numerical order on the bench. Well, some of the other games aren't, but yes, I just saw that. It's the St Kilda ones. They've done it in number order. So you'd probably think Heath will be the one, but Boxshall, he could definitely get an opportunity there, I guess, on that theory. But go on, mate.
Okay, so I've got a couple of options. I can bring in Clark. That's option one. All right, Clark that's one option. Second option is Anderson, which we discussed is a no good. We mentioned. The next option is Tom Green. The next option is the ruckman from St Kilda, Marshall. Out of those four, I don't think I have any other options. Which one of those four would you pick?
What were your options again? Sorry, mate. So what was the first and second?
So Clark,
yep,
Anderson, Tom Green, or Marshall. Now Marshall's depending on how. Or actually, another one is going to be the Port Adelaide ruckman, Dante. That's another option. So 5 options. Who we
Tom
picking?
Green. Tom Green because the VC and C option every week. They've got the second best inside mid fixture for the rest of the season. So Tom Green by daylight. I wouldn't even worry about the others compared to them this week.
All right.
I agree. I like
two,
Tom Green.
2 on Tom Green. Now, what Steve, what do you think? Which one do you think? We'll get back to it in a minute. Okay, what you keep thinking, okay? Now, let's get to Swizz. Which one do you think?
Yeah, I've been the one against Tom Green. I want to wait a couple of weeks to just see it. I know he's got Richmond coming up, so I'd probably want him there. But I just need a couple of weeks to be convinced on that one. But I get what you guys are saying. Marshall not loving their ruck draw. I'm such a big on these halfback flankers. I probably like Clark because it's just solid 105, 110 each week.
What do we think Dante is going to average? And how much?
Good question.
90.
90. All right,
But how long is he going to stay? That's the problem.
That's the question. Yeah.
What happens if he gets dropped after his bye?
Yeah, that's the killer.
Huge.
You're risking one game now, and then a lot can change in 2 weeks.
It's a massive gamble. I'm gonna change my
He's in, but
he's
out.
ins and outs. I'm gonna bring in Tom Green this week. Okay, so I did bring in Nathan O'Driscoll previously. It's gonna change now to Tom Green. That's breaking news at Adam's Magic right now. Now you guys keep chatting about Dante. I'm gonna check out how many subs we got now. What are we up to? Let's have a look. The last one was a 989. Okay, when I last looked. Let's have a look
bench
now.
is decimated. I'm looking at it now.
All right.
We're 10 away. Come on.
All right, we need 10 more subscribers before the 5 of us together. We're going to put a chorus on and sing together. We're going to sing a song together. The 5 of us. same hit. So I just need 10 more subscribers for Supercoach Pro, and you're going to get a top 10 song. It's gonna be hit the Billboard charts. Okay, it's this song. I don't even know what the song's going to be. We'll work something out. Now let's get to another question. Okay, now do we have any other questions? Let's have a look here. Now, just someone says come down, Sard out. So we know that Bolton or Jackson or someone else. We think Bolton on this one. I think
we
the
said
panel agreed on
Bolton.
Bolton on this one. Okay, now
Scott, with that, just adding on to Bolton, it also depends what the cash does for you. Like for me, I'm looking at saying maybe it's McRae down to Bolton, and that 80, 90K on top of what their extra cash, I think it gives me like 150K. So somebody like Lindsay, who's probably in the next week or two going to tap out, if that means you can go one up, one down to get Butters in, who's got a break even of 206, because 150K on Lindsay, and if you've got another rookie that you're going to trade down to one of these ones that we can obviously get in the mid-season, or one of the ones that are obviously making their debut. Yeah, if you can pick Butters up for 550, 560, you're going to do that. But that it depends, obviously, team what you've got in your team and what rookies you think you might need to dump. But that's sort of my thinking around it as well, because I want Zach Butters at some point.
Yep,
with
that's a good
the
point,
Bolton
actually.
thing. With the Bolton thing, so for me, I'm going to go probably McRae, Finn into Sinclair to stop the bleeding because he's in 80% of the top 1%, and chuck him down to D5 because that's where I'm bleeding points. As we've discussed, like you want to increase the highest number difference between the worst positions. So Sinclair goes to D5. I bank Bolton, Swizz. Now listen to this. With that Bolton cash, I'm not even kidding you. I will grab Jeremy Cameron and Tom Stewart next week and use those as 400K guys. One to be D7 in Tommy Stewart. He'll be D6 for now, if I've done the math correct. And then Jeremy Cameron and Bolton will be the loop for the F6 position. So I'm playing value now. So by grabbing two primos this week for two other primos, I'm making 0 upgrades. I'm aware of that. But the week after, I get 2 fallen primos because there's no way our cash gen, even my side, can do 550K players at this point. So I'm looking at value guys who have the ceiling. And with that flex, maybe a Jeremy Cameron or a Tom Stewart's number drops out. So I think at this point, we're too crazy about going for a Bonds and paying 6, whatever it was. I had to do it for Cherry for 680 just because how highly owned he is in top 1% to stop bleeding. That's a different story. But the value guys are what's going to get you a complete side. If you drain all your bank with these 600K players, which I've done too many times this year already, you find that you're going to have to get some cheap value at some point, being a Mills or a Jeremy Cameron with those ceilings. Now, the flex also allows risk for this to happen as well. The ideal situation is, that you're 23rd, but even if you don't get a 23rd, your flex is there to cover those really poor scores. So that's how I'm looking at it this year.
Yeah, mate, I couldn't agree more with you. But that's the thing, as I was saying with Butters, because his break even's obviously so high. If he gets down to that 550, 560, I can see that that's value for a guy that what he can produce, and obviously day cost and those sort of guys. But I completely agree. I don't want to be paying anything more than that. There's plenty of other players, and especially this week, and that's why I've copped a lot of messages. We've had people in the chat about your Andersons, your Marshalls. Heaney, I'm surprised hasn't come up today because I seem to be getting that one a lot personally. But there are a lot of guys in that 5 to 525, 30 who we know in the past have averaged 110 and have got the ability and have the role. So, and that's why I like Bolton, because he does, as like you say, opens up other options for our teams as we go forward. And with the flex position, it allows you to take those risks with those high ceiling players.
Yep.
Now, we have a question here about Libba. It used to be the weapon, which we never brought into our team. But Libba, it says here, why is no one talking about the old man? Okay, now, last week, I actually brought him into my team, and then I took him out because I thought he was going to score too much. So I thought I better not have a good player. So I brought in someone not as good. So I brought in, who did I bring? I brought in Rosie instead. I was tossing up between Libba and Rosie. And I went to pick up Rosie because halfback role. And I looked at the stats of Libba when Treloar comes into the team. And when Treloar was in the team, I know last year Swizz started Libba, and he didn't do well for him because Libba's role was more of a what you call a forward mid, whereas when Treloar's not in the team, Libba's a mid. So that was the reason I sort of got cooled off from Libba. But what are your thoughts on Libba?
My wife wants a pretty well divorce because 3 weeks in a row she's like asked me, "Oh, should I put Lib in the team?" I was like, "No, he'll get rested at some point. They've got so many options, whatever and stuff." And then every week he gets 140, and she's like, "Are you for real? Like Supercoach outsider because you absolutely have no idea." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, put him in there." So she'll probably put him in this week and watch him absolutely stink it up. He'll probably give away 350s tonight, chasing Bailey Smith around the field.
He's
Well,
only
he
had
never
one bad game.
He
Liver.
never
That was yeah.
So they're going to
think-
take Bont, aren't they? In reality,
Who?
any team
Okay.
will.
Oh yeah, Richards or Bont. Yeah, he'll never get the tag. It's more,
right.
I think, his age. It worries me because as the season goes on, like we've already seen it with Collingwood, they've rested Pendles, they're resting Sidey and stuff like that. What's Liver 33, 34, and the way he plays, his body is banged up. So they will have opportunities throughout the season, I feel like, to give him a rest because surely he doesn't travel for the away games now that they've got everyone back outside of Treloar. That's my worry about him.
The
And
issue
as-
is,
And
He's
as
like-
well, like dogs have the bye next week though, so that's probably why we're not talking as much about trade-in targets from North, Port, Carlton, and Dogs. Is you don't really want to be trading into a player heading into their bye. You want to be picking them up after their bye. So Libba's a great option, but it's probably the reason we're not bringing him up.
Yeah, I had a question since you mentioned the bad word buy. Okay, I had a question about these buys, and the question I had, it was on Twitter, and the question was, how many buy players should we have in the buy rounds? And I was sort of looking at it now in round 12. All right, how many buy players do you all have? Okay, now my team is ranked 200,000 or 500,000. So it doesn't matter what my team has, but at the moment, my team has 3 players on the round 12 buy round. But Supercouch Potato, how many players on round 12 buy round do you have?
It really depends on the trades this week. If I bring Bont in, Jay or Horn Francis for Bont, then it's 5 because I'm sort of losing one, gaining one. If I don't bring Bont in, then it's 4, and that's keeping Chera as well.
And
pretty well
Steve,
set
how
up
many
for
do you
that.
have in the round, just in the buy rounds next week? Missing.
So I got 6 players missing from the round 12 buy all up. So, and I think but most of them are like, I think it's Chera, Rosie,
Well, you
Rosie,
got the
Dale,
horny man as
Sheesley.
well, so you've taken him out. So you would have had 7, is that right?
Yeah. So took out Horny and took out TDK the week before as well, which I mildly regret, but we can't predict the carnage that comes. So so I've evened that out a fair bit, not by choice, but by must.
Yeah. And Swiss, how many do you have missing?
Well,
Primos?
we'll excuse Carroll and Camporelli. So actually, the ones on field is
True.
Daniel, Cherry, Sheasel, and Chera. So the 4.
So I only
that
got
are-
the 4. That's not too bad. And how about yourself, Brad? How many missing?
5.5 primos because Daniel's not really a primo at this point.
Yeah.
He's a little bit skeptical. So
He's
yeah,
not tall enough to be a primo.
Yeah, but I've got enough bench cover anyway. So yeah, I've got 6, but I've got so much depth it doesn't really matter at this point. I think most teams will have between 5 and 7. So I think you maximum really want is 5 per buy, looking at it structurally. But you always got to be over in one buy as long as you can make up for it in the other buys. If you got one that's 6, you're fine. If the other one's got 4, I suppose. But yeah, it shouldn't matter you too much. As long as you're upgrading around these players, not side swapping your primos during the buys, because I think that's a stupid move, to be honest. But yeah, 1 up, 1 down, and you won't even worry. Who cares about too much?
Yeah,
What
I
about
found
round 16?
Yeah,
Is
see,
everyone
that's
checked?
the thing with round 16. I found that round 16 buy plays are the best ones to have because you can. We mentioned sideways. If you're going to sideways your buy players, you do it in round 16, and you can bring in all the players you want. Like for example, if you're full primo, all right, that's 23 primos. That won't happen probably until round say 14 maybe or 13 or 14 probably. You'll be full primo. So if you're full primo around 14, and if you've got 5 players missing, that means you've still got 18 players full primo available to play for you, and that's quite decent. So I'd say 5 is your max or is your minimum missing. All right, in round 14, same as round 15, In round 16, if you got more than 5 missing, it doesn't matter because you can always. It depends what your ranking is. Yeah, if you're ranked top 20 at the time, and you want to go up the ranks, every point counts. So and if you got a player that's underperforming, maybe it's your time to remove that player that's got the buy round. So that's an option. But round 13, I see a lot of teams have 6 players missing. And in round 13, if you got 6
Wow.
players missing,
It's
you
my
got a
worst
problem.
buy, round 13.
Is it?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How many do you have missing round 13?
I think it's my worst. I think it's 6.
Yeah, I've seen
So-
a lot of 6s.
Only got
And what's-
3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because the 2 Freo boys, Brayshaw and Sarong, and then you've got Sinclair. Some have Wanganeen Malera on top of that. Shea, I'm counting Simpson on that because he'll be on field. And I've got Liam O'Connell as well, who's
And
my
Clark? You
D7,
don't have
but he'll
Clark?
come. But he's going to potentially be my 30 or 40, 50 point player to get me through.
Now, we've got a question here. This is a gentleman that's ranked 39. This is Paris, ranked 39 now. He's obviously done a lot of shopping at Paris right
Ooh.
now. And ranked 39 is actually ahead of our boy here by 4 rankings. So this is your competition. So maybe you don't answer this one, all right? So we'll get the answers from the other gentleman because this is a competition for you. Now, it says here, I have Finn, Horny, and McRae, okay? Sideways 2 primos to Dunkley and Shy. Which 2? Okay, now, he's asking also, does he grab Shy and Simpson for the cash gen, or does he go for the points? Okay, that's the question now. Get Shy and Simpson for cash gen, or get Dunkley and Shy?
I would sideways the 2 primos. I reckon you try to avoid going down a primo, especially in that position. So I know Simpson, potentially missing Simpson might suck, but I do think Finn and JHF are trades. So I would probably do Dunkley and Shea and unfortunately miss on Simpson. But I think when you're in that position and really in any position, you probably want to try to not go down to primo because it just means you have to do more work to get up to a completed side. So I'd do Dunkley and Shea.
And that's something that I would do as well, because when you don't get a chance in your lifetime very often to be ranked 39th, 50th, all right? Trust me, look at my ranking this year. It doesn't happen every year, all right? So last year I had the opportunity, but it doesn't always come around. And when these chances do come around, you got 2 options. You either play it safe or you go hard. And for me, I go hard. I got to attack, and I've got nothing to lose because by playing safe, you're not going to win nothing, okay? Because you're going to let other people catch you. So you want to go up, not down. So I would get the 2 gun primos as well. That's what I would do. What would you do, Swizz? Would you do the same thing?
Yeah, I think if you're 39th, as much as you probably want some cash gen, it's hard to sort of you could potentially hold one of them if you've got this is where it does get difficult. But does Simpson give you enough cover to hold one of them for the week if you were able to go, say, Simpson to get one of your dead rookies off field? That's the only thing I'm thinking to sort of get that cash gen. But I get what he's trying to do in sideways the 2 premium to keep up. The only problem is if you keep sidewaysing, is he going to find further problems down? Because if everybody else is getting on Simpson this week and let's just say it's Cleary. I'm looking maybe at Huswaite because I just want Cleary as an extra body through the buys. But let's just say it's Huswaite or Cleary or whoever, Hewitt, and you're making 150, 200K by going down to Simpson, and then Simpson keeps his role, puts up 70s for the next few weeks and makes 150K. Is that going to suffer your team for the long haul because you didn't get that cash in, which other people are going to use? Or is the points right now going to be more important? It's a tough one because I can see it working both ways.
Yep, and I agree. And we're now up to 997. So we need 3 more.
3
okay?
away.
So we're
What
3
happens
away
when
from,
it's 6,000?
from
You
singing
just get
one of the
money in
best
your
songs
account?
ever made. Okay,
Didn't you guys get the party poppers?
Actually, I'm gonna. Are we allowed to go on another channel, put some music on, or we can't do any celebration music? Can we put something in the background?
I could
Maybe
probably
one of
get
you
something
guys
up.
can put something nice, or or Swizz is just going to sing for us.
Oh,
Now, I
I
wanna
don't
say
know why you
thank
want to
you.
watch me sing so much.
I love your voice, Swizz.
No,
It makes
you
me so excited. So much excitement in your voice, Swizz. Now we got a big thank you from Yaron, who's donated $30. So I appreciate it very much, Yaron. And I'm gonna shout out these gentlemen a coffee each. So we're all gonna have a coffee each.
Amazing.
He's there. He's there.
He's there.
You there? You
Hey.
We have made it. We have made 3. Now, can we have a dance from Brad? Brad, give me some sexy moves right now, Brad. Just do something sexy. Okay, that's it. That's Brad's moves. Very nice. Now we want to thank everyone. Brad is over the moon, and it's going to mean a lot to him, and he's going to now even create more content. He's never going to shut up. If you think he's going to shut up before he made all his content, he's not. He's just going to continue now, make thousands of more videos non-stop because he's going to make some cash. So it's a big achievement. So well done, Brad. We're really happy for you, young man. And who was the 1,000th person? Let's have you on there. Say something. We're going to find you now. Who was the 1,000th man? We know Yaron said it was 997, so just recently. So who was the 1,000th? Pop your head up. Let's find you. And well, we got some congratulations here. One's from Joe. Joe from Centre Bounce is very happy, and the Centre Bounce themselves are very happy for you. They've rated us over. Now, if you like. If you like, Brad, you can pop over to your other mates at the other channel because they want to hear your excitement because they want to say hello to you as well. Have they given you a link yet? Have they put you on? That's Scobie's channel because I think they're on live as well, and they wanted to say because we're going to wrap it up here pretty soon anyway because I think the footy's going to. What time does the footy start? So it should be starting pretty soon.
38 minutes.
I've got to make some trades. I haven't done the trade yet. I
haven't even locked in my
I'm
trades.
starting to
Just
do them
lock in
now.
your cats and dogs players.
Well, we're going to say
I don't
thank
even
you
know
to everyone for
if I
tuning
got
in.
Bond in or not.
Yeah, we apologize. We couldn't make it enough answer all your questions, but I appreciate these fine gentlemen that have come on the show. We've achieved our goal. We've got the 1,000 views for this young man. His smile has gone from one ear to the other. He's a very happy young man right now. And thank you all. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
So, thank you, everyone.
See ya.